All right. So, Voicebox is a story, it's a song, it's a serenade, it's a celebration, it's a fucking bunch of things that sound like. It's the old school front stoop, it's the modern day confessional, where people like us come to weave and unfurl and groove deeply together as one. You never know what's going to happen, but it's Voicebox, and people clap their hands and their heartbeats in anticipation, and they're fucking for the chance to share their voice. Okay, I didn't have that memorized. It's okay. If Maureen was here, that would have been done better. Okay, so. We have a great lineup of storytellers tonight, and I'm just going to get right into it. Our first storyteller is Mr. Voicebox. He is a favorite here at Voicebox. He's amazing. He's wonderful. Give it up for Terry Faloon.
Hi, thanks for coming out tonight. Nice crowd. We always have a lot of things to do in the summertime, so it's great when everyone comes out and packs the house, so good to see you. And great. I knew this song would be right up. I knew Kathy would nail it, so give it up for Kathy, because that was just wonderful. So, I'm a man. That's the theme tonight. So, Voicebox is about stories, and we all know that. What I'm about to do, isn't really a story, so I'm departing a little bit. It's really me just pondering, kind of meandering like a river about what I think it is to be a man. So please indulge me. There's going to be plenty of time in the future for more of my stories about getting chased by the cops and doing bongs in cemeteries and all that kind of ludicrous behavior. But tonight will be a little bit different. This is a story in 6 parts. So part 1, where Terry sets out on the meandering river. Tonight's theme is I'm a man. Apparently, a more expansive theme was not available. We couldn't get more vague and more overwhelming. These days, gender identification issues are ubiquitous. Which reminds me, if I have to relieve myself tonight, can I use either bathroom? Is that okay here? All right. Truth is, I'm not sure exactly what it means to be a man. Our understanding of manhood is evolving. The gender I was assigned at birth is that of a male, and this gender assignment happens to correlate with how I identify myself. Traditionally, we've adhered to a gender binary system with a basic division between gender attributes assigned to males and females, along with certain expectations of masculinity and femininity. Not everyone identifies with the gender assigned to their biological sex, but I do, so everything that follows is from the perspective of a male who identifies as a male. It's just one guy talking, but I have the mic. Part 2, where Terry jumps into the meandering stream and gets wet. So I'm a man. I spell M, a child, N. I'm a full-grown man, a rolling stone. I'm a hoochie-coochie man. But nobody ever called me a real man. I'm actually not a fan of that term. Let's get something straight. All men are real. We don't look at Rover and say, is that a real dog? Or peek into a crib and say, is that a real baby? There are millions of man types, and they're all real. Remember when a real man was a cigar-smoking, football-watching, poker-playing misogynist who called waitresses honey, who bowled on Wednesday nights, punched the clock at the plant, swilled Budweiser in a sweaty wife-beater tea, and spent the weekends changing oil, cutting grass, and maybe golfing around if the old lady gave him a pass. Sure, there was Ward Cleaver and Mike Brady and even Cliff Huxtable before the fall. But those Hollywood ideals were countered by Ralph Cramden, Al Bundy, and Homer Simpson. It seems everyone has an opinion about what it means to be a man. I saw a magazine piece recently that said, "Real men don't call plumbers. They fix it on the spot." By that definition, I ain't a real man, but my lovely and talented wife is. I saw a bumper sticker that read, "Real men love Jesus." Jesus was a righteous dude, maybe the best man ever. But is loving Jesus really a criteria of manhood? I say you can be a man and not love Jesus. I think we need to end comparing men against some stereotype we see in movies, TV, or billboards. I don't think one definition of a man exists. So where do I fit in? Part 3. In a most meandering fashion, Terry contemplates the kind of man he is by examining the many roles he plays. Like all humans, I'm complicated. I think, feel, and act differently depending on many variables. One day, I want to be loved. The next day, I don't give a shit what people think. Some days, I'm aloof, detached, and selfish. Others, I'm social, engaged, and altruistic. Some days, I'm square biz, and sometimes I'm jive. Sometimes I think I'm a Buddhist. Next day, I don't even know what that means. I live in the moment, yet am mournfully nostalgic. I am humble and egotistical. I'm a lawyer who should have been a teacher, who should have been a DJ, who should have been a park ranger. I talk about surrealism, socialism, and all the isms, and the poetry of Rilke and Eliot. And sometimes I'm content to watch a Will Ferrell movie in my underwear while eating Cheetos. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I celebrate John Lennon's birthday on October 9th and hope everybody forgets my birthday on October 10th. I've worn fanny packs and wooden clogs and oversized plastic glasses, and I like dancing like a Rastafarian, but will always be troubled by disco. And I want all the things that men want: security, love, social status, except when I couldn't care less for these things. This man, like all of us, is a bundle of contradictions. One of the things that defines me in our society, one of the things that defines men in our society are the roles they play. For example, I am a husband, and I love my wife, Eiley, more than anything. I love her so much that most nights I let her both cook and clean up. I let her pay all the bills, shovel snow, clean house, even the litter box. I cut the grass, but I like dandelions so much that I don't discourage their proliferation throughout the neighborhood. Despite all that, I am capable of being loving and as tender as a rosebud. I'm a man. I spell M, a child, N. I'm a father, too, and I was as clueless about raising children as Humpty Dumpty was about wall sitting. For the most important role I've ever played, I winged it. I loved my children unconditionally, but could have done better. I was present, but not always engaged. I was sympathetic, but not always understanding. I'd love a redo. I was a kid raising kids and mishandled more than one situation. I might be closer to my son today had I not constantly battled him on stupid little shit. That hurts. So this man is taking this opportunity to tell my wife and kids that I love them dearly. If men don't do that, they should. I'm also a son, and not the best son either. I've always done the minimum, like the guy who comes to work every day but never distinguishes himself, never comes early or stays late. My parents probably can't complain too much about me, but I never gave them that much to rave about either. Good men go the extra mile. And I'm a pretty average brother to my 5 above-average sisters. I didn't do the shitty stuff some brothers do, but I never tried to really know them either. Our relationships are fine, but a little superficial. A good brother works to really know his siblings, embrace, even worship the unique bond they share, and grow together throughout a lifetime. I could have done better. To some, I'm a decent, if not exceptional friend. I'm the guy you talk to casually about a situation, but not the go-to guy for real answers or sympathy. I see a lack of depth in my relationships, which is ironic, because one of the things I desire most is a circle of friends with which to share laughter, sadness, and creativity. Maybe I'm one of those emotionally immature men who struggle to develop meaningful relationships. Maybe I'm too lazy to put in the hard work. Maybe emotionally I'm not a man, but still a boy. I'm a boss, a business partner, a member of organizations. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm simple and complex, completely unique, and yet, in most regards, no bloody different than any other. Part 4, where Terry inexplicably presents random thoughts in a lame, all right. Part 4, where Terry inexplicably presents random thoughts in a lame white boy flow. Now, I don't wear no camo gear, no Vietnam, no Rambo wear. Don't hide in trees to kill no deer, 'cause I'm a man, I ain't no shrubbery. And I don't watch no porno shit. Not because I don't approve of it. I really like the TNA, but I'm too cheap to pay for it. I ain't the man who got away, and if I was, I wouldn't say. I ain't the man from Uncle, bro, the man who came in from the cold. I ain't the man who sold the world, the Marlboro man, no little girl. I ain't the man who knew too much, the man who always is in touch with how I feel. Is that man real? I ain't a muscle man with tats, a bushy bearded lumberjack. I ain't a politician hack. I ain't no friggin' quarterback. I am a moral man who sins, a loser man who sometimes wins. I am a king, I am a clown, a man who throws a tight rap down. I am John Lennon. I am John Lennon's Nowhere Man, and Jackson Brown's For Every Man, and Eddie Vedder's Nothing Man. Like Skinnerd, I'm a simple man. Don't burn my fuse like Rocket Man, or sing the songs like Piano Man. I'm all growed up, no Peter Pan.
You owe me big time.
Yeah. Part 5, where Terry tries to recover from his tight rap by offering an oversimplified exposition of what it means to be a good man. There are so many types of man and no cookie-cutter mold of masculinity. The type of man one becomes depends on nature, experiences, beliefs, and passions. But I believe that good men have these traits in common. Good men put others first. They shut up and listen. They help old ladies across the street, and they shower their people with love. We may be the biggest, baddest, hairiest animal on the planet, but that doesn't mean we have to be the meanest. Good men are balanced, compassionate, confident but not cocky, and treat others with respect. Good men have strong beliefs, but understand that we don't all share the same beliefs. Good men build others up, they don't knock them down. They have manners and are emotionally aware. Good men aren't bullies and don't take advantage of others. Good men aren't concerned about societal stereotypes. They aren't tough just because that's how they think society thinks they should be. They aren't misogynist, bigoted jerks. They are themselves, except if they're a dick. Good men aren't dicks. These days, they may not even have one. Good men learn from their fuck-ups. And one thing I do know is that life provides many opportunities to fuck up. Good men are always learning. Good men know what they want out of life and take action to realize their dreams. But they're also adaptable because stuff happens and you gotta know when to adjust. Good men take responsibility for their actions. They make no excuses and don't play the blame game. They apologize when they mess up, accept the consequences, and don't do it again. Good men do what they say they're going to do. They have integrity, are sincere, honest, principled, and have a moral compass. They know there are objective truths and conduct themselves accordingly. Part 6, where Terry mercifully brings this journey to an end with a few concluding thoughts. As you can see, it's very difficult to define what it means to be a man, but here's what I think. I think you're a man if you say you are. I think we should celebrate the wide and ever-evolving spectrum of masculinity. I think it's time to stop debating who is a real man and develop a dialogue that is shame and judgment-free and that acknowledges the individuality and beauty of each man. I think that every man has room for growth. I think all men just need to embrace and express the uniqueness of their own masculinity. I think that's enough for now. Peace.